Hey guys, Anthony with the Rag Company, doing something new and exciting here on the Rag Company YouTube channel. For quite some time now, we've been wanting to do a garage tour series, and so we wanted to start this off with our very own Gabe Garcia, who is our studio media manager. So he's going to give us a walk around of his garage and show us what he's done over the last several years and talk about his future plans for his garage as well. So, Gabe, how's it going?
It's going great. Welcome to my garage, you guys.
Thank you for having us. And so what we want to do here on this series is kind of give a rundown of what you've done for the flooring, what you've done for the walls, the lighting, and then your future plans for whether it's storage or anything like that. Yeah. And then actually get into some of the detailing talk and talk about where you do most of your detailing, if you're doing it on the side for fun or just washing cars, where do you knock most of that out at? So we're going to start with the first and foremost, what's below us, the floors. Give us a rundown what you've done with the floors and from there.
So I bought this house about 5.5 years ago, and the very first thing that I did was the floors. The floors that you see here, they're epoxy floors. I bought the epoxy kit over at Home Depot. Most people who put the epoxy kit down typically put on those little dots that you see. I chose not to do that because eventually I'm going to do another coat on this floor, and I don't want to have to deal with overcoating on the dots.
Yeah, that makes sense. And so you just went with pretty much the standard gray here. And how long ago have you done it, and how long has it held up for?
So it's held up since 2016, and you know, in this garage I do more than just detailing. I work on the house. We did a full out renovation, so we had a lot of tools in here, and it held up just fine. You just have to make sure that you follow the proper steps when applying the epoxy to the floor. But aside from that, this floor's been fantastic, and I venture a year, maybe 2 years from now, I'm probably going to do a second coat just to freshen it up.
Right on. So one thing I want to talk about as well, because I know a lot of people are going to be curious, in this garage series or whatever it ends up being, we want to talk about the square footage, so hopefully it gives people ideas on what they can do with their own garage. And so in here, what are we working with square footage wise?
So we're working with a little bit under 500 square feet. It's a 2-car garage. The house came with the built-in cabinets on both sides of the garage. So a lot of the garage space is taken up by cabinets on both sides. If you were to subtract the cabinets, it would be a much bigger garage. But the reason why it feels a little bit more narrow is because of the cabinet space. So in here, I can put 2 cars and a motorcycle, stored pretty compact.
Okay, cool. And we're probably working with like 9-foot ceilings here?
Yep.
All right, and so moving on to the ceilings and moving actually onto the walls, what did you do for painting? Did the garage already come pre-finished? Was it already painted, or did you do any painting yourself?
So the garage actually already came in this color. The nice thing that I really like about it is it came finished. So it's got textured walls, it's got textured ceiling, and typically when you get, for this age of a house built in around the 90s, a lot of the times they don't finish out the garages. So it's either studs or it's just bare...
it's exposed tape and everything, that
exactly.
fire tape.
Exposed taping. So it was really nice getting this finished. I think eventually I would like to paint the walls more of a gray and the ceiling white, just to give it more oomph.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I know a lot of people are doing kind of multiple different tones in their garage or doing accent colors. And so I know something really popular, especially from the Obsessed Garage guys, is doing the black ceiling and then doing something white on the walls. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure you'd probably be able to do something really cool with that. So from there, let's actually go over the lighting. So what did you do for lighting in here?
So I guess we can start in this space. For this lighting, we have a very kind of rustic, modern feel throughout the house, inside of our house too. So I wanted to carry it out here. So I built this fixture with some parts from Home Depot. Thought I'd give it a cool, eclectic look and feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
But in the main garage, if you look around on the top, we only had 4 bulbs. So turning on the lights, it was really dull. And I wanted to move over to LEDs, but I wanted it to kind of be cost friendly. So my wife actually spotted these lights at Costco, and I think they come in a pack of 2 each. So I bought 2 packs, and it's more than enough light to fill out this entire garage.
Yeah, and these are angled here, so you can actually angle to where you want it, to where basically it doesn't cast too much of a shadow in certain areas. You can cover all the area of your garage.
Yeah, exactly. And it's perfect because if you're working late at night, this light even carries out into the driveway.
Yeah, and it makes use of your existing, pretty much your existing plugins where you'd normally put a normal light bulb, right?
Yep, and the nice thing is it's just a screw-on, like a regular bulb, except it's got the 3 LED panels And like you said, you can adjust and swivel them any which way you want.
No, and I think it's perfect because I think that for somebody in their garage that doesn't necessarily want to wire up full lighting or full bars, I think that this is plenty of light output here. And I think they've really modernized a lot of the lighting nowadays. They've made it huge advancements in technology to make it
install.
Yeah, exactly. So cool. So basically we've covered the floor, we've covered the wall, we've covered the lighting. So I actually want to talk about your storage and kind of what you're doing here in the garage for just your general storage. And what do you use the storage for?
So our storage, like I said, existing shelves, I like them and I hate them. I like them because there are areas to put things, but the shelf depth is not that deep. So on this side of the garage, what we have here is, this is all of our camping stuff. My wife and I love to go outdoors and go camping and rafting. So I bought these metal bins, I think at Target. And what's cool is I can organize all of our stuff from dog stuff, rafting gear, camping gear. So I have these bins that fit the shelves currently. Works pretty nice. Our cabinets, they hold shoes right here. Yeah. So it's easy to access shoes and find stuff. House stuff, just your regular household stuff on this side. So this side in this cabinet just holds household stuff and shoes. All of the camping gear, paddleboarding gear, kayaking gear is up top.
Yep.
And then, like I said earlier, we just went through a renovation. So this is kind of my scraps. As you guys know, wood is really expensive right now. So I actually store it as close as I can right here. And I just park the car alongside its tongue and groove cedar. And then I have all of my extra baseboards and stuff from the home renovation on the top. And then here is where I just have extra stuff like extension cords up here and straps.
Cool, right on. So basically, the storage is useful and you're obviously using that. And so without the storage, what would you do? I saw that you have this really cool kind of pull down thing up here. And so do you do any attic storage or anything like that?
I do have attic storage. So I've got this po that the previous owners left. Up here, we store a lot of our Christmas lights. We store a lot of our clothes. We just store any extra stuff that we don't use, except my ladder sometimes gets caught, but easy peasy. And from there, I just store things. The only downfall is my wife's 4Runner, you have to back it up a little bit to clear this.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, that's okay because you're only going up there maybe a couple times a year, really.
Yeah, and it's just stuff that you wouldn't normally use. It's items like Halloween decorations, Christmas decorations, just stuff that you only use once a year. You want it out of the way, so that's where I put it.
Cool. No, right on, man. And there's probably plenty of storage up there as well, so making the most use of the room.
Yep, it feeds the whole, basically everything in the garage space, duplicate on that floor, except you're a little bit more narrow because of the trusses on the top.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Right on. So show us how that tucks away here.
Yep. Except my door has been a little flip. There we go. Ladder didn't get caught this time.
Oh, and it's spring loaded. That's cool, man.
Spring loaded, easy.
Heck yeah. Okay, cool. So we kind of talked about that. We've gone over pretty much everything now, from the floors to the walls to the lighting, what you got for your storage. So you have tools. I can see a lot of tools behind you. You said you were doing some home renovations, and you're using all these tools, obviously. So kind of give me a walk down of what you did, because this pegboard here is pretty sweet looking, because you did this whole outer here in some type of steel, so it's all like a full surround. Yeah, it's kind of reminded me of, I don't know, for those of you who've ever seen Tim the Toolman Taylor, I remember back in the day, Home Improvement, watching and seeing the really cool layout of tools. So for my thing, when we go out on adventures, I try to make it so that, 1, my tools are accessible, and 3, that they're organized. So I can just grab a socket set, throw it in a bag, and we're ready for a road trip whenever we need the tools that we need. Cool. So we built this pegboard, and I actually had a friend of mine do the welding of the frame. So he welded the frame. And then what we did was we put 1 large sheet of pegboard in there, and then we painted the pegboard, and then I just went to Ace Hardware and got all these hooks for the stuff. Yeah. And then I added, stuff for like screws and extra little things over here. Makes it super nice and convenient just for grab and go. Cool. No, I really like it. And I think as far as tools goes, I mean, you have Milwaukee's here. Yep. You got all of your socket sets. You got all of your wrenches. And you got some pretty big tools here. So what I also thought was pretty cool was your workbench setup. So this is obviously a little bit more on the aesthetic side of a normal workbench.
Again, I wanted to go with the rustic, organized look. So I actually got this at Costco. Home Depot actually sells these now also. Yeah. But I got this at Costco, and what I did was I put my air compressor down on the bottom, and I have the hose ran to the spool, and it's a retractable spool, so it makes it super easy and convenient. So if we need to fill up our tires, or if I need to do anything regarding detailing stuff, I can just use that, pull it in and out, and it's good to go.
Cool. And so I'm guessing there's probably maybe a 1 horsepower little air compressor right there.
Yeah, it's a little guy. It's actually an old one. It was a hand-me-down. So hey, I'll take what I can get.
Take what you can get, man. Yeah.
So that's the bench.
Right on. No, I really think the bench is awesome. And so you mentioned a kind of a retractable spool there for your airline. I actually noticed this up here too. Yeah. So this is for power.
Yep. So the garage has power on that wall. That wall, it's got a power outlet there. And then when I did the electrical for the light, I actually put another power box up there. Yeah. But when you're working outside, or if, the other day my mother-in-law was using the electric trimmer and they didn't have enough extension because there's no outlets in the front. So what I did was we installed this, which makes it super convenient because this will go all the way out to the sidewalk.
Oh, wow. Okay. Pretty sweet. So I'm guessing probably, 30, 40 feet?
Yeah.
Wow.
Really easy add-on and super simple.
I think that's actually that central location kind of makes the most sense. I think in most people's garages, just having something like that to be able to pull that down. So that's awesome, man. So coming back over here, because obviously we work for a detailing company and we like to detail, and we detail in our homes, we detail, at the TRC Media Studio. So I kind of wanted to highlight some of the detailing stuff because I know most people watching this are detailers as well. So give me a walk down here. So you pretty much have most of your detailing products stored down here. I'm guessing probably maybe even in this bench you have some stuff stored as well. Yep. I even see some stuff stored over here. So can I give us a rundown? What products do you like to use? What are you currently kind of cycling through?
So for those of you who are watching, I was the teacher before I was the manager of the media center at the Rag Company. So detailing for me, I've always wanted to keep my vehicles clean. So it's still continuously learning. I learned from you, obviously, Anthony, Levi, Dane, Juan, and all of our other guests that come onto our videos. So a lot of that I try to take and bring home here. For me, I like a lot of the PNS products. Okay. I like getting PNS products just because they're in bulk. Yeah. For me, that makes it easier. I've got my rags to riches, obviously my brake buster for the wheels and tires, my express interior cleaner, bead maker, and then back here I've got paint gloss. Okay. So I buy typically these just because they go a longer way from me. That's why I go with those. I have a lot of favorites from different companies. Like I have Gentle Snow Foam for foaming. That's one of my favorites. Motor Plast for getting my engine bay kind of done, clean and clear. And then we have hard water. I have to park some of my cars outside. Yeah. So FSE is my number one go-to for water spot removal. If I come out in the morning and I find out that my car's been sprayed with sprinkler water, which typically happens every other day, I go to that. Cool. So I really like the Coach Chemi products. For the G-Technic, I got my Perfect Glass, my bug remover because we go on a lot of trips. I got my G-Wash back there, my Quick Detailer, my Tri-Clean. Still have a bunch of Optimum products from way back in the day, the leather protectants. Heck yeah. My O&R. Over here, I got my brushes. I've got my wheel brushes. I've got my IK, foamer, and then I've got my MTM foam cannon. Yeah. So and then over here, I put these up. This was just a test to see if I could utilize this area. So I put these up, and I've got all of my sprayers over here for just quick grab and go. Nice. Trigger sprayers. Yeah, heck yeah. Those are my favorite. Yeah, right. I will say that.
Perfect. So no, I like the setup here. I think it's clean and clear, concise, and so and then pressure wash. What is your pressure washing solution package? What do you currently? Because you brought your old gas Ryobi to your I think it was a Honda technically. Yes. Oh, that didn't sound good.
Got rock.
Holy. And that thing let us down on a couple of video shoots. So did you say F it and buy an electric? How did that all work?
So it actually works fine. It just had a couple loose bolts. That's why we had that issue. So that one I use outside for power washing the concrete, power washing the fence, power washing the side of the house. But the reason why I decided to go with this setup, which is an electric Ryobi 2000 PSI setup, is because I didn't want the gas fumes in the garage.
Okay.
It's just plain and simple. When you run the pressure washer in here, it's really annoying and it smells really bad after a while.
It's gas. So, I mean, it's burning off the gas.
I went electric. Listening to you and Levi banter in the podcast.
All of our plugs for our cheap electric pressure washers.
I decided to do my own. So I went to Home Depot. I did some research and I went with the Ryobi 2000 PSI electric washer. What I like about this setup, it's pretty simple. So again,
you got the SGS 28, you got the Magnum gun on there as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
So again, I went with the MTM. So this is MTM. The stupid thing though that I found was I wanted everything quick disconnect. So I've got a quick disconnect gun, front and back. I've got my hose down here, quick disconnect.
So are you actually tapping into your soft water?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's actually
so
a good idea.
Everything's quick disconnect, and but to get the quick disconnect locally is I had to order an extra kit from Home Depot, and they give you this really.
Oh my God.
Well, that could be used for maybe the RV or something like that, right? I mean,
it's massive.
It's a wand. Okay.
So that's what I have as far as that. Going to the water softener, yes. The issue is we have hard water here, and I wanted to be able to do pressure washing and cleaning without leaving water spots on my vehicles or on our camper. So, and I was also tired of replacing shower heads in the house.
Yeah.
So we went, and at Costco we got this water softener. We got it installed throughout the entire house, and while I was at it, I asked them to install a hose bib out here.
Cool.
So I've got a hose bib that this hose is connected to, connects to the back, and typically what I'll do is I power wash outside. So what I would do is I roll this out to the center, plug in the power, plug in that, good to go.
Cool.
Easy. And then I have the house, I had them install a quick house shut off for the water right there. So if we're gone on trips, we can shut off the water to our entire house just with a quarter turn.
Nice, right on. Cool, cool. So, I think it gives us a really good kind of lay of the land. Like, I think what you've done, I mean, I think it's awesome. I think it's a very functional garage. And so everything from going outdoors and doing everything that you like to do, snowboarding, golfing, camping, because I know you do like to camp a lot, and you talk about all your trips that you like to take, and, you know, and your Tacoma and your 4Runner and all that other stuff. And so let's talk about some short-term plans. Like, what are your short-term plans? And let's get into your long-term plans.
Yeah. Short-term plans, like I said, I had them run that water bib. I'm actually going to run the water bib up and around. I'm going to have it come out right here, down here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to mount a shelf where I'm going to put the pressure washer right here. And then I'm going to get a retractable pressure washer hose.
Cool. Yeah.
Now, again, the big thing is I'm still new to this. So as I advance, I'm going to make more and more adjustments. But my goal was to get into this at a pretty cost-efficient way. Mm-hmm. So I have, just with the pressure washer and our setup, I probably have $400, maybe $500 in my setup.
Yeah. No, it's not bad. I mean, considering that stuff can be upwards of $2,000, $3,000, you know, for what you need to do. So short-term goals would be to get that here. Long-term goals for the garage.
Long-term goals. So our house has a most garages do. So you can see that it's got the foundation coming up. What I want to do is I want to take out all of this. I want to take out all of that. And if I had my way to go obsessed garage style, I would leave my pressure washing system set up right here. I would do a couple of vertical cabinets, and then I would do a stainless steel counter up to here. And on this side, because this is where we put a lot of our drinks and stuff, our air fryer, I would put a nice counter right here, and then I would do most of this just vertical cabinets. And I would probably spend more time on just touching up the paint, making it look nice and ritzy and fancy. Yeah. But realistically, I mean, vast majority of the people they use their garages so much and so frequently that a part of me at the same time, as much as I would like to do that, I'd be a little bit hesitant and afraid because I'd be so OCD to keep everything clean and perfect.
Yeah, I totally get it. And so, do you have any, I mean, I guess for people watching, do you have any preference if you were to do your vertical cabinets, if you were to do all of, maybe stainless steel stuff, do you have any particular cabinet style or look or brand that you particularly like more than others?
So at the Rad Company, we have, I believe, Sonic cabinets.
Okay.
And I really like those style. However, again, I'm not here to spend thousands of dollars. So realistically, I would probably go to Home Depot and buy some Husky cabinets and call it good.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
And then as far as top, I've seen people, I was watching a video of Matt installing a really nice wood top. I believe it was a wood top on his new cabinets in his garage. Those were pretty dang slick. I wouldn't mind doing something like that. So I don't know. It all depends.
What about busting down, because you have an RV parking over here. What about busting this wall down?
Yeah.
And then turning this into a 3-car garage. Have you thought about it?
So yes. So we built in a side driveway, and I keep telling my wife I want a bigger garage. Realistically.
Yeah.
So
but you like the house, so you want to keep the house, but want a bigger garage.
Yeah, I love where we live. It is perfect. So realistically, what I would do is I would take this wall out. I would push the garage out. And I would push it back. So realistically, beyond here, it would be a high garage, and I would put a drain. Okay. And I would set it so I could park 2 cars, and I could put a lift where I could put 1 car, lift it, and park another one underneath. Jeez. And then if I wanted to do some more power washing inside the garage, I could do it in that bay. Here, it's a little bit difficult to do power washing just because it's close quarters. So for that, what I do is I actually use my handy dandy canopy.
Oh, cool.
So what I do is I pull this out, and if we come out here, I use the overhang, so I butt it up against the overhang, and I wash right here.
Yeah.
So I do all the pressure washing here, and then what I do is I back the vehicle into the garage, and that's where I do my drying.
No, awesome. Cool. So I guess on that note too, so if you're doing a rinseless wash, if you're doing any type of detailing inside the garage, are you doing all that here?
Yeah.
You feel comfortable doing all that here?
Yeah, I do all of that here, and what's nice about it is I only have counter space just right here is because I can grab my towels. I've got my steamer, except my steamer is currently at the Rad Company HQ.
Being used for a video, I think.
Being used for a video as we speak, and then I've got my my pads. And again, budget friendly. I'm new to this, so I guess I'm speaking out to the weekend warriors. So I don't have the Rupes polishers, but I do have...
Heck yeah, man. Old Faithful is what we like to call that right there in the detailing world.
Yep.
That thing will run till the end of time, and it's oddly powerful for what it is.
It's oddly powerful, but it's a great learning tool, and I'm not as afraid. And then for that, what I do like to use is the Rupes pad, just because it's safe and it doesn't overcut. Yeah. So realistically, when I do polishing, when I'm doing my drying, I like to have the car here because I like to be able to grab any of the items that I need and going directly to the car versus walking out to the driveway and then walking back.
Yeah. And then for pressure washing those, so if you're doing a rinseless in here and doing most of your drying and doing most of like your LSPs and your last step protectants inside the garage where it's shaded, outside is where you're going to do most of your foam cannon stuff. And do you have a time of day, because this is a north facing home, is there a time of day that you prefer to do most of your washing outside?
I typically do it so in Idaho in the summer it gets dark around 8:30, 9 o'clock.
I mean, sometimes 10:30. Yeah.
I like to do it around that time.
Okay.
It's quiet, it's nice, it's not too hot, so that's where I do most of the washing. I do have the trees in the driveway, so I don't like to have the car out too long. The trees don't drop too much, but I'm just so particular that I worry,
Yeah.
You just wash the car and all your stuff falls down on your car, you're like, crap.
You gotta get it out from the sap, gotta get it out from anything else that falls down on here. Well, cool, Gabe. Well, you know what? Hopefully, maybe someday we'll be able to come back, check out maybe your Garage 2.0 version or something like that, whatever it ends up turning into. But thanks for sharing your garage with us, you know, and walking us through everything. So hopefully people can kind of maybe relate to the size in terms of getting ideas of what they like to do, depending on their needs, right? Depending on whether or not you need a usable garage with lots of storage for things that you can quick pull for camping, whatever it may need. And then obviously having tools and figuring out different ways to store things, especially when it comes to your detailing stuff.
I mean, it's not an obsessed garage, though I highly admire those guys. It's just your average garage, and that's what I use it for so many different things. So hopefully that speaks out to all of our viewers who are like me and you have a 2-car garage and you use your garage for everything.
Hey man, you have a garage, and I think most people watching that don't will say, hey, you have one.
Yeah.
You know, you're already there. So right on, guys. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this quick little video here. I don't know how quick it actually is, but we'll actually pull in Gabe's car to kind of show you a car inside the garage and show it off under the lighting. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. If you guys like this series and want to see more garage tours, make sure to give us a big thumbs up. Subscribe down below for more, and stay tuned for more videos right here at The Rag Company.
See you guys.